So they've spread their defense here. And there you go, they got the spot. Nice frag from Rubino. Now they've got a good feeler as to what's going on. SK, they're going from one side of the map to the other side, and they're losing a player each time. They have to commit with their next play. They've got to commit now.
Two-man advantage for the Dignitas side as SK head back towards A. The range will not be at their advantage as the CT default pistols have far superior range to those Glocks. So they're going to be up against it, are the SKT side, or what remains of them. We have not much time on the clock for these Terrors to get some work in here. MSL's position may be crucial as Magic tries to push the site here. Freeze has been lost as well, so it's 4 versus 2 now. But not all the CTs are on the site. The bomb's been lost, however, so we may not see a plant now. 2 versus 2, and now this round is anyone. The CTs are on the wrong ends of the choke points, having to move away from the balcony for the time being, and we should see this plant after all.
Yeah, there's 10 seconds left, so they absolutely must go for it immediately, but despite getting that bomb plant, which is nice, they're very low on HP. There's 2 players bearing down in their position. Cillian's trying to play the angles, but Rubino is going to slap him down with the USP. And that's going to be the round there for Dignitas. So they'll start off with a good economy, but SK got the bomb down. So in doing so, I would love to see fast B execute or something with the full nades, just force it up. That'd be quite cool for me.
What we saw from SK on the previous map was that they didn't opt to buy at all. They wanted the full buy so they could get that op on freeze and all that stuff. So I don't think we're going to see any sort of force coming out from them. We might see a smoke, a couple of flashes. We're actually just going to see 1 flash from Basilian. So they're just going to go pop flash into mid.
Boring.
Yeah, no, it's not very exciting, and they're probably going to get them all down unless they hit the perfect flash.
Well, the Deagles, the PT-50s coming in. There's a trade in the underpass area, but Tensky is there to hold things down with the FAMAS. Running out of bullets, so he's going to try and move back, but he's going to force the issue, take 2 down with him. 3 versus 1 now. Freeze picks up the FAMAS. But not much else going on for him. Done a bit of damage to the Dignitas economy, but no bomb plant for SK, no bonus money they were looking for. The AK buy will come out from the T side, looking for their first round on the board.
I think that's quite cool. I mean, like Vendor said, they needed the perfect flash. They got it. They got 2 frags out of that. Almost no investment. So going strong into this AK round.
A bit limited on the smokes. So 3 smokes, probably going to be a quick execution towards B here. From what we see. Like when they decide to go. Obviously, they don't want to run straight through the smoke here. It's going to allow Dignitas to use quite a few of their own nades. And eventually we're going to see a really quick execution from SK. I think they need a quick execution because they have so few nades. Otherwise, they're just going to get bogged down.
Well, they'll have to wait for these initial smokes to dissipate from the CT side. And again, normally pushing into B, you need smokes, flashbangs, and Molotovs as well to force the CTs out from their stronger positions. And they can sometimes hold. MSL holding the tiniest crack here.
I think he saw the foot of Vasilian. Yeah, he definitely did.
Well, what can you do with it? The flash coming in. But Vasilian is not deep enough to get caught by it. Going to move back behind the door and he'll get smoked off. So now SK still playing the waiting game, still with 2 flashbangs, 3 flashbangs, 2 smokes, and the 1 Molotov. And now starting to run out of the numbers.
Yeah, it's going to be quite hard to get the bomb around onto the site now, but they do have some positions to work from. It's a good spot to launch the offense from this drop zone area, and so far it's working out. The flash goes over the top, we get Magic Boy into some entries, and Dignitas, the players were melting away to this aggression, and it's going to be the round there for SK, so they'll be bouncing back very quickly thanks to that bomb plant on the rounds, the pistol rounds.
They melted like a lollipop launched into the sundown.
All right then.
Halvor, over to you.
Well,
Say
yeah,
something intelligent.
I'll do my best. But Dignitas is having a bit of a unique setup on as to how they want to play the drop room in that round. Config just being the sole protector of it, playing it from the outside, which I'm going to be curious to see whether or not that's something Dignitas sticks to in the future or not once they get the guns up again.
Tensky's been taken down towards long A. There's no push from SK though. They will.
Oh, sorry. This is the weirdest buy I've seen out of Dignitas in a while. They've got CZ's 4 spot and a Colt on config. I'm not really sure what they want to do with this because you kind of need nades to actually get something done on the CT side of Kabul.
Yeah, that may explain the initial aggression from Tensky, pushing all the way through long A, but it was not for his favor. And Dignitas are getting wiped out now, slowly but surely. Maybe death by paper cuts for the last 2. Just waiting for their untimely demise. Got a big flank coming in from the one of these two CTs, from Kiabi, who's basically in T-spawn at this point. And it seems that Dignitas may have chosen to save, or it's perhaps Kiabi moving towards a position where he could try and get a strong exit frag, try and pick up a weapon, try and salvage something from this failure of a round.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the only viable option at this point. It doesn't really matter. You're going to have to do a double eco most likely after this anyway, so try to get something out of it, because that was just a massive failure. I'm really surprised actually that they opted to do a force buy. That's something you don't like to see, really.
For those of you at home who like to hide in the toilets, there is a giveaway when you hide in the box, in that it does show the toilet as engaged. So you'll have the wrong kind of spray down if you potentially if you head to the toilets. So something to bear in mind when you are playing cobblers at home.
I love that you call it engaged. The toilet is engaged.
It's engaged, yeah, it's in use. This is the British way. We engage the
So
toilet.
fancy. I would have gone, the colors turn. Goes
What?
from green to red. On the outside, the lock.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If someone opens it manually, it turns red.
So what would
If
you
someone's
say?
inside. I just would have said like the colors on the lock actually turn.
Oh, okay.
That's the giveaway.
It's red. The toilet's red. Moving swiftly on.
Yeah.
The CTs are ecoing over towards the A site. They've put the numbers in, but they're not stacking the site itself. They're kind of getting a bit aggressive here, but they've more or less got P shooters. Oh, the Freeze has been dinked with a frozen P. Gonna run away with 11 HP. His whole team may survive this round. Got Dignitas. Again, they're looking to salvage something. Kiabi has some Kevlar he could try and save, but for Tensky and Rubino, they don't have really anything to lose in this situation. Rubino going all the way up to the tower just to kind of clear the area. Won't find anything there. Tensky falls as well, so let's see. Ooh, Kiabi's actually got a CZ kill onto Pimp, but he's not going to push for the gun because Magic was with Pimp, so that would be a bit suicide. So indeed, he will go to save his Kevlar and his CZ, which the price was reduced, wasn't it, from $500 to $300 for the gun?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely.
Oh, it's true.
So we're going to get a buyout, no ops on the side of Dignitas. I'm curious as to whether or not they're actually going to have any op usage on this map. We saw Rubino being the one predominantly picking it up on train. I don't think the position he plays necessarily is going to allow him to use it all that much.
We'll have the slow push towards the plateau, but it's pretty much a default here from SK more or less so far. You're seeing players putting presence towards both sides of the map, just claiming some map control, basic map control. Dignitas are not playing too aggressively with any of their setups either, so SK will be forced to make the move eventually, and it looks like they may be going for a bit of a foray into the drop zone. Let's see how that one's going to work out for them. And Dignitas are just going to be waiting patiently. Now, perhaps SK are feeling as if Dignitas might make a bit of a boost play for a peak, but it is rather too risky to try and attempt something like that from Dignitas' perspective.
Last time we saw such a slow round from SK, they dropped Pimp down into the drop room and basically let him try to figure stuff out, but Dignitas are playing drop room a tiny bit differently. They have Kirby holding from the window edge, so they will be able to spot people dropping down there, but it seems like the entire SK team is rotated over towards A here.
Quite a cool little fake coming out. They have delayed the rotation, but they have to get fast up middle to actually capitalize on that play into drop zone. And it looks like that's exactly what's happened, because they've got the CTs stuck on the poorer sides of the choke points, more or less, or just trying to sprint into good positions beyond that. And it's not working out too well for them. Against 4 players is Kirby there. Rubino will come in, but he will be swiftly dealt with. That was an excellent round by SK, I've got to say. Really liked the smoke flash fake into drop zone.
2-round lead for the SK side. Will put Dignitas in a sticky economical situation again, where they will more or less have to concede the round unless they get lucky, and they'll need to versus 5 AKs if they want to get back into this. So we should be looking at 5-2. Who knows what we will be looking at. Last time we saw Dignitas go for an aggressive stack and push towards A. This time they're doing it towards B with just MSL towards the A site for some information.
Yeah, we got just the basic anti-eco out of SK. So far, so good for them. There's not really a huge amount Dignitas can do other than just wait at this point. It's very hard to throw aggression from the CT side on this map. Of course, the A side, as we're seeing there, can offer some good options and some nice little corners to play with, but generally speaking, SK handling things well. Moving up together as a unit now onto the A bomb site to clean this up, and hopefully for them, they will lose no players in doing so. And it looks like they're pretty good for that so far.
Well, Tensky is all that remains here for his team. Again, I think he's probably going to try and position himself to get a player in isolation who may be hunting for him and see if he can salvage a gun. Again, the CTs, obviously, they can buy the M4s, but they can't buy the AKs. And the AKs have the power of the one shot to the head, whereas the M4s will need a minimum of 2 shots versus somebody with a helmet. And there we go. So they're going to shoot Tensky straight in the jaw. So 5-2 it will be for SK. Again, they are a map down versus Dignitas, who took train. The last map, should it go that far, will be Overpass. Dignitas back onto the M4s with the AWP onto MSL.
The money is outrageous for SK. Their money's so good. This is a really huge problem for Dignitas. They might have a bit of a shutout half here if they're not able to take some rounds together at this time. This one's so important. And looks like a bit of the default coming in again, and that flick was almost just good enough. Freeze down to 17, but looks like MSL will be lost for Dignitas. And SK, they got so many options from this position with this much time.
And SK have pretty much opted to do the same thing at the start of every single round. They haven't shown any sort of inkling that they want to play aggressively from the get-go, do like a quick B push or something to that effect. Config is going to find the frag onto Madi, so that equalizes the playing field for right now, but still not that many nades on Dignitas and quite a few flashes, but not really any smokes or Molotovs to hold people back. And
I like how Freeze jumps on the rock towards the top of T side of Underpass. I'll come back to that in a second because we've got more flags coming over towards B bomb site. Rubino holding the angle, taking down Pimp as he tries to cross, leaving the bomb carrier Asilian alone, who waits a few seconds, manages to get out, gets a tap onto Tensky, and he's looking for the other engagement. He wants 1 versus 1 before planting the bomb, but he won't get it. Bomb does go down. You can plant it behind the tree area without crossing over to the statue. But does he expect Kiabi coming in for the flag? A free kill for Kiabi, and that will be the end of the round. So I'm just going to say, Freeze standing on the rock. The AWPers for the CT side get a lot of kills around the rock. That's the first time I've seen somebody standing on top of it, and you can see it pay off, getting shot in the leg instead of the chest. Something you can compare on Dust 2 short, that Guardian does when he's on the T side. He stands on the bricks to go for the wide peak towards Goose, so if there is an AWPer there, he's more likely to get shot in the leg, so he can get the kill in trade. And indeed, you saw Freeze get the kill there with the AK as opposed to the AWP.
Well, I think SK don't really need to change anything up though as of yet. Still think the fact that they've gotten 5 rounds already with their slow methodical setups and just pick-based plays eventually, you know, before they go for an execute has been working out pretty well. So if I'm SK right now, I'm still sticking to the same recipe that we've run for the better part of the game.
And Dignitas is going to start to feel the pressure now as the push comes in towards middle. And there it is now. Over danger, Pimp is going to take some positioning. And it's going to be config, though, towards drop zone. That's actually going to shut the round down for SK. The bomb has been dropped, and their strategy, which would have been a bit of a wrap, is now turned into something a little bit different now. And even worse still, as now Pimp is the only one left, but not for too long. Kirby with 2 kills right at the end. And Dignitas just shut that one down just by winning the duels. And once again, I think, you know, config has been incredibly important for Dignitas, and he is one of the new pickups as well with Rubino. So it's good to see that he's fitting well into this team and delivering the individual performance that he was heralded to be able to bring.
Absolutely. And on SK's end, they do speed up their tempo quite a bit and get shut down. So given the fact that they won 5 rounds in a row, they're still going to have the money. And actually, this time they're picking up the pace and go towards B here. Already out on plateau.
Modi looking for the tap, but it's Config playing the piano on his chest. Config with another frag. Config's been insane for Dignitas so far in this series. Man advantage for the CTs now. They've got 3 CTs on the site itself. Going for the spray through the smoke here as they are virtually walled off. MSL there with a money nade potentially. Get shot through the corner of the wall there. Now it's just Magic Boy, 3 HP versus 2. He can still do this, but he's not going to. Tensky gonna finish him off.
Absolutely. So Dignitas 5-5 now. bringing things back there, 3 in a row. Doing a very good job and recontrolling the situation again, as we've noted. The money was massive for SK. They were in such a strong position to actually take maybe what would be sort of almost a guaranteed 10 rounds just straight away. But Dignitas have said no, they've got the AWP onto MSL now, and we'll start to see how they play with high economy, which is actually the territory which they're starting to look at bringing themselves towards.
Oh, I can see the bomb is headed towards A-Long. There was the initial aggression from Tensky towards that area, but he's moved back all the way to the site. So the passage will be somewhat safe for SK for the time being. Meanwhile, you can see Dignitas trying to keep hold of the underpass, sorry, the drop zone position, excuse me. So Freeze holding that wall. Oh, how did he not get that kill? Through the corner of the wall, MSL gets tagged, and he will get a penetration kill himself. So there we go, early advantage for them. Evened up now with the kill in the drop zone, but Kiabi was in position to try and hold it down as well. Gonna get a nade into that position and rotate round to B.
What's good for SK with that frag, though, is the fact that they force a rotation, because that forces the one guy on a MSL to actually rotate over towards drop.
And here he goes around the corner looking for the flick. He's going to get it onto Modi, but still more players to be eliminated. He's not going to be good enough for the task this time around, leaving 2 players for Dignitas against the 2 remainder of SK. But the problem is they'll be smoked behind these very dangerous choke points. The only saving grace is that the bomb had to go down. Gave Dignitas a small window to get out of those choke points, and they did indeed capitalize on that. Pushing forwards now, looking to find the engagements. Magic Boy, first point of contact, easy one for him. Pimp looking easy there as well. And that's the round for SK. So swinging things back into their favor just at the key moment to really disrupt Dignitas' flow.
Vendetta, do you believe, is it your opinion that one of these teams is currently at a long-term advantage? Obviously, SK have a 1 round on the board ahead of Dignitas, but in the long game of things, in terms of like half strengths and so on, do you think somebody currently has an advantage going into the second half, perhaps?
It's tough to say because both teams are fairly new. But as of right now, Dignitas are in a pretty good spot, having 5 rounds on the CT side already.
Well, I think we have a boost in the drop zone, actually. Indeed, we do. Kiabi's coming in from the back. See if he can get anything done here. Can he surprise Magic Boy? No, going to get sprayed through the corner of the smoke, leaving 3 Dignitas players on this eco.
Yeah, it's not really a good look. They would really love to get in some damage, of course, to make life a little bit easier going into the remaining rounds, but sometimes you just don't get it. However, MSL's in a pretty good position, potentially, with this Mag 7. There's number 1, finds the bomb, and the second one on the jump, and MSL is going to make some bank, and Tensy's going to pick up AK-47 as well. He's not got Kevlar, same situation for Rubino, but maybe there could be a chance here as Tensy spams bullets through the smoke to try to connect a stray one, but it's not going to happen just yet. Even though up there down for Rubino if he wanted it.
The AK though, just not getting the complete spray onto Magic Boy. But he spotted one of the positions. Tensky getting flashed again and again. But there's a bit of time for them to work with. No kit on either of these CTs. They have a smoke, but Tensky's gone now, as has that smoke. Now Rubino gets flashed once again, looking for the spray, but he's not going to be engaged just yet. As Magic Boy will play bait, the jumping kill coming in. But the clock has maybe ticked too far. Modi gets the final kill, and SK extend their lead.
What an effort, though. All just springing from that Mag 7 of MSL. That was a huge amount of damage in there, so they will force SK to spend quite a bit of money that they otherwise did not want to spend. The AWP is back onto MSL, but the nades are potentially a little bit too low for Dignitas. This will be a difficult one. Well,
we can see initial presence. Again, we have half aggressive positioning from Dignitas towards A long. 3 SK players towards the B area. Rubino's lost most of his life already, unfortunately for him.
And SK putting on that early aggression towards B just is mainly to force out as many nades as possible from Dignitas' side.
Close, but not close enough. Maybe giving one of those players a bit of a haircut there. SK concentrating the forces towards B. We have a rotation away from A from the lurker there, which I think is Pimp, coming over towards B as well. So it seems all the forces will be coming in. They've got a bunch of smokes. They're starting to be deployed now. The flashbang's coming into drop. Trying to find out where the CTs are holding it, because they will be holding it with 5 players. Kiabi around the corner, getting Magic straight in the face. Push coming in on platform now.
And Modi with the entry, We need a deliverance there from Config, but it's down to Rubino and Kirby as they set up the retake here as these T's are now occupied this bomb spot, although they're still trying to get the bomb planted, and it's Rubino to drop Asilian, which also sends the bomb flying. However, frees him from the side now with that AK-47. He's very healthy, but he has no idea where on earth Tensky could be. Now, will his game sense give him a good guess as to what to do in this situation? And indeed, he's going to go for that play into A, predicting the rotation there of Tensky. And he has managed to find himself safe passage towards the A bomb site for that plant as Tensky comes in. He's actually going to switch the advantage back into his favor, as he did not know where Tensky was previously, but now it's all about Tensky trying to find the engagement, and he's going to get the headshot immediately.
Ding, ding.
My God, Freeze. How on earth did he get caught like that?
He had his bell rung like it was 2 p.m. Dan. 2 shots straight to the face from Tensky. Tensky got through the doors fast enough that the bomb planter couldn't get too far away from the site, so he knew where he wasn't. And boom, ding dong, the bell's been rung.
Definitely. The quicker realization from Tensky right there is pretty much what saves the round for Dignitas. It doesn't allow to Freeze to get into a proper afterplant position. You could tell that Freeze was expecting to have way more time on him to actually get into a better position and actually reload than what he did. Oh well, this actually hurts SK's economy a bit. You could see they're in a situation where if they lose this one, they're going to be ecoing going into the last one, or having to force fight really poorly.
Yeah, the buy for both teams is a bit crap at the moment. Oh, MSL is completely blind and he gets taken down by the firing squad of SK. Tensky takes down one, but takes a lot of damage in the process, instantly traded by Freeze. So it's a man advantage for the SK side to pick up an M4 as well.
There we go. Kirby's the next point of defense, but SK are going for the rotation. I think the task for 3 players are going to be hard stretched to actually defend this Config now. He's got to step up if Dignitas want to win this round. He's against 3 players essentially. He's going to find the first one, and the second I think he spotted as well. Not connecting his first shots there. That's going to be a problem if they have more potential to flank him, and that's going to happen. Modi around the side, as now it's down to Kirby. 1 versus 3. This is going to be tough.
So his position has been known. Modi holding the angle, Modi getting shots in the face. There's still time on the clock for this to be done now. Just need to try and avoid the crossfire, try and avoid being traded. He's got some potential to do that. Maybe going to try and play with the Molotov, but he may play into the crossfire. Although the last player is not peeking just yet. No smoke. Going to fake the defuse. So he's got to gamble as to where the last player might be. Is he going to be in the chicken coop? Is he going to be on T main? He's spotted the play now, continuing to fake. He can wallbang that, but he's not going to get the frag. Pimp finally finishing him off. SK with another round, but everybody will die.
It seemed like he was really afraid to go for the spray there because he didn't feel like it would be a consistent way to get the frag. And if there's like a peek around the corner and he's got the like full recoil, he's just doomed potentially, I guess. Yeah,
no, I think you're absolutely right there. It's a bit of a gamble, but I guess in a situation like that, unless he goes actively hunting for Pimp in that situation, maybe the spray through the wall is the best.
Makes the most sense. Yeah, yeah.
It's the best option you have. Not that it's a great option by any means,
right,
but
right.
It might be the only viable option you have at that point.
It's a gamble, Jim.
It's a tough play.
So Dignitas on the 4th buy for the last round. The score is fairly close. We will have to see who that favors. We have a bunch of smokes on the CT side, a bunch of flashes as well, maybe to stop any initial fast push towards B. Maybe it won't stop. Because of these pistols, they need to be close for the one-taps here, which would be part of the reason why they're holding such close angles towards long. How long will Freeze hold, though?
It's a game of patience. Who is more patient? Well, Dignitas should be more patient in their position. Although now they're losing players towards B, that's going to start to hurt that element of patience, and Freeze is going to get the drop on them. Oh, the shot was fast from Tensky.
Louder.
And Asilian's going to be in there for the trade, but hey, that was pretty glorious, pretty snappy stuff. And Dignitas, wow,
the bomb.
They got the bomb.
They no longer have the bomb, Dan.
Yeah, that was unfortunate that there was someone right next to the guy who just dropped the bomb. So anyway, Dignitas 6, SK 9. How do you feel about this one, Mr. Halvor?
I actually think this is a pretty good half for both teams, all things considered. SK would be happy with 9 rounds. Yeah, this is probably as okay as you can get a half to be for both sides. I don't think Dignitas are too worried about being down 9-6. I think they should be perfectly fine. They can even work their way back from a 12-6 deficit if they were to lose the pistol round, or they could go the same route as we saw SK did with, you know, if they potentially get the bomb plant in the pistol round, they can go for that third round buy and bring it back right away. So solid half for both teams, and result-wise, I definitely think Dignitas felt like they could have picked up more rounds, because MSL did not have a lot of luck in that middle area trying to basically get any sort of frags at all. He was really struggling for the first 8 rounds-ish without getting anything done, and that left Tensky in a really awkward situation as well, where we saw him several times getting boxed in from the coordinated pushes from SK's side. So if he has more luck there, then you could easily see more rounds going Dignitas' way. But that's just the way the cookie crumbled this time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing kind of the strategies we'll see out of Dignitas on the T side. It's always something that's nice. You know that MSL has been putting in work there with his team, and there's some maps which are much stronger than others in that sense, like, you know, your Mirages, and recently I've seen some good stuff on Overpass. But I'm quite curious to see how that is going to pan out, because again, I feel like he's maybe one of the best teams at running the anti-ecos, the anti-force spies. So if they're able to get into a position where they can hammer the economy of their opponents and force the CT economy to be terrible to begin with, I feel like they've got a really solid shot at just of taking this one fairly convincingly. However, if they lose the pistol round, I think SK have got a really solid chance if they get a good economic start. What about you, James? Where were you on the fence here? Because you know, my prediction was with Yanko, and that's been sunk.
Well, I think if it goes to a 12-6, I think it's going to be... While I think the T side is favoured, I think it might be too much of a deficit, but there are so many variables that I don't really want to make a call at this point.
You have to make a call. You're on the chair, man.
I don't have
you're
to
on the
do
chair.
anything.
So you do.
It's my show, damn it. I'm not saying anything.
Well,
so
all right.
I was going to say a nerdy thing though about the bomb.
Yep.
You know, you saw a change a while ago where the bomb carrier gets killed and then the bomb kind of flies up, and sometimes it can roll forward. It went quite deep into T main there. Unfortunately, Rubino got taken down and that was the end of the round, but who knows what the potential may be. But you have to watch out from that, especially when you're running along dust too short. It can fly into CT spawn, which can be a disaster. But we're going to have the pot flash coming into the drop zone here. A la Flipside, who quite commonly do this. Well, that nade could be meaty, but it's not going to be very meaty at all. More of a... Well, never mind. It's going to be a man advantage for the CTs here. The bomb is down at the moment, but the CTs are dropping like flies. Tensky will fall. Config and Kyabi very heavily tagged. They are both one bullet away from destruction, but Freeze is walking through the smoke. He's going for the gamble here, and he's going to get shot in the side of the head and dead.
Obviously, a really tough situation for Freeze. It could probably have known that one of the players were tagged up pretty heavily, but I couldn't have known that both of them were that low HP. And I think if he's aware of the situation HP-wise on Dignitas' end, then he probably let them get that bomb plant and not stress in towards the bomb site through smoke. But Dignitas get off to that good start that they wanted. He might bring it back to 9-9 right away, and all of a sudden I think Dignitas are in a great position, actually, not just okay after that first half.
Well, we do have the anti-eco situation I was talking about regarding Dignitas. They've got the P90 on Rubino, and MSL and Tensky holding their SMGs as well. So again, want to pay close attention. One of the ways you lose rounds like this is, you know, you get flanked or you run into a stack. So you have to have like a good situation for both of those outcomes to make sure that you do not fall to them. And there it is. MSL now slowly pushing down into these areas. We should expect some nades potentially, but no time for that because SK are moving forwards for the push against the T attack onto the B-bomb site, and now it's just Magic Boy. Look how clean this round is.
Clean as a whistle.
I like it because they do it so easily as well. It's one flash into drop room, and both players from Dignitas take aggressive positions that they'd never ever let up. Normally you see people get caught out with a flash in their hand or an aid or something to that effect, but instead they just hold their positions and wait patiently, and that's how they get into a stronger position where it's really hard for SK to actually inflict any sort of damage on them, even if they're running at them with several people.
I think the Dignitas teams are quite consistent at having anti-ecos. I think we casted a game of theirs recently where we were admiring how good their anti-ecos were as well. Something we actually haven't seen so much of on Cash, generally speaking, where we used to see so much Molotovs onto the A site. It's kind of disappeared for a while. But here we go. And so looking for more frags, looking to make some more paper with that MP7, and indeed $600 per kill. He's got himself another 12. His pockets are going to be rammed with cash now. Although Freeze is a max going to make some money for himself. Rubino coming in for the flying P90 absolutely disgusting.
Again, like the reason why I love their anti-ecos is they always try to play a really fast pace with them, or they tend to try to stick to that. We saw that then. Boom, nades, boom. Like if there's not a stack there, they instantly have the site. You don't give the other team any chance to reposition or pick up a weapon. It just happens too quickly. I really like that.
TSM used to do something similar a couple of months back, like half a year back, where they would choose alternating bomb sites for each
Right.
take.
Well, we have a fast play coming into the B bomb site here, but we've got counter nades galore from the CTs. The first 2 frags going their way as well. 4 versus 3 for the CTs. Bomb could get planted here. Bomb planted down to 7 HP. Only 2 players remain versus 4. There's going to be too many guns for Dignitas to hold down here. Tensky there, we've seen him do good things in this position before. Going to Molotov the bomb, so there's no fast fun coming in, but the smoke's going to make things a lot harder. He's going to have to continue to find the spray while finding heads. Free's going to finish things for him though, make the decision making easier for the Dignitas side as they are all dead.
Yeah, I liked the immediate gut reaction to go from Rubino to go for the bomb plant there, because that's a spot where if he doesn't decide that like instantly, you don't get the bomb down. And that in that spot where they were in, they are losing the round. So I really like that. Very cool stuff from Rubino.
Yeah, absolutely, and that seemed like a round where Dignitas just wanted to see if they can get a freebie. Because if they get away with a quick B push like that, then SK's economy is down in the trash, and SK are probably going to be really irritated, because that's an annoying round to lose. You didn't really get to play with your weapons at all. And if you're in Dignitas' case, then it doesn't really matter all that much. You're going to be able to buy again, no matter what.
Rubino's been taken down towards B platform here, and Esilian's position may make a rotation come in for the CT, because he's not going to see anybody else in that position. Freeze moving back after missing the AWP shot now. And we have 3 CTs over towards the A side, which is not very common, especially with so much time left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, SK has such solid control of the B plateau that they're confident to do this. And Dignitas, they really relied on Rubino just at least staying alive to create an element of unknown there for the SK side. But instead, SK, they know exactly what's happening. They've got 3 players in place. Freeze is going to drop Tensky straight away. Config at least will open up middle a little bit. So the approach is now happening for Dignitas. But how far can they get towards the bomb plant? Freeze, I don't know if he can afford to miss any shots. He's going to have to smoke himself out of the Molotov now as he goes down critically low, as Dignitas keep their attack coming. It's Kirby and Config now, 2 versus 2 against Modi and Freeze. Freeze just sitting in the smoke. If he's able to pull something out of the bag from this position, that's going to be remarkable, but looks like Dignitas are too wise for that. Modi coming in now at a very key moment. Great nade, sailing over the top.
Kobe!
And that's the one to take down Kirby. So somehow SK saved the round, but it really looked like, well, I say somehow, it did actually look like they should have had that round all along, but...
There was a Batman joke in there. Freeze was on fire.
Okay.
Arnie,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't do it because I thought it would have been a bit brutal.
Yeah.
But I had to notice it. So Dignitas going to go for the buy up here with only 3 primary guns, 3 AKs. The other 2 players will be on the pistols. Not the mere pistols, they are Tech 9s after all. They did have the moving accuracy nerf, but it was so good in the first place that it's still great now. So all the T's getting close to the B bomb site now. Magic Boy is in a position to do something about it, but there are tons of nades on these Dignitas players.
Yeah, the nades will be coming in now. They're going to force the issue onto the B bomb site. And look at the wall of smokes. Is it not glorious? As the approach onto the site should be covered and the bomb should be able to go down for free. But how many players will they lose in the process? Looks like Esilian will be boosted up onto the tree and sent straight back from whence he came. 3 players left now for SK. Make that 2 as Dignitas really assert themselves. And SK are forced to run tail between legs back through where they once came from towards CT spawn, as Pimp is now just left alive, looking to do some damage here. But I don't think he's got any grand hopes of winning this round. And indeed, it's going to go the way of Dignitas. What an execute from them.
Really solid execute. And the fact that SK opted to play with 2 people on that A bomb site at the time of the execute obviously makes the job a lot easier. Kirby somehow makes it actually all the way from the drop down from the drop down at the long plateau over into drop room, and it manages to take out, I think it was Modi, completely unsuspected, and that just really messes up with SK, because all of a sudden you have 3 points of attack that you have to worry about instead of the normal 2.
Well, the entire Dignitas team now moving towards the B-bomb site. Oh, Rubino hasn't checked the corner properly, but he's going to come back and find a frag as SKR on the eco. So there's only so much they can offer in this situation. Ooh, just welcome. It's like I don't know, you kind of got a welcome Christmas card in the face, but it's like the entire truck carrying the boxes as opposed to just a car.
Sleigh right to the
Indeed,
face.
yeah, you just got the sleigh, everything, just a reindeer in the head. Magic Boy and Modi will be the last two standing. You can see a rotation from Magic Boy heading around the back to try and pick up something, try and get a bit of a dirty frag. Again, now the CZ is $300 rather than $500. Actually, I'm not sure what the kill bonus is. I'm not sure if that was changed.
I think it's still the same old kill bonus, which means not that great.
Okay.
But I guess
So maybe it won't pay for itself like a P250, for example.
it won't pay for itself, but you're still doing 4,000 plus damage to your opponent.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's not a yoga position I'm familiar with.
Well, we'll have to see now as things get tied up whether or not Dignitas can keep the ball rolling, because SK are going to start to get the buys going again. But that said as well, we're getting to the point where SK aren't going to have many opportunities, and I don't think they've really ever reached kind of a groove as to their defense. And Dignitas have some executes that they know that kind of work, and Dignitas have actually discovered a lot of stuff that kind of works so far on the T side. So I'm sure that they're feeling very confident right now. And SK are going to go for a bit of a push here. 4 players towards the A site, and just holding aggressively towards the A long area at the moment, hoping to get lucky in maybe a Dignitas or catching a few Dignitas players. But they have moved towards B. And that's not going to work out too well for SK, of course.
Oh, wow, they've abandoned shit. Well, it is an eco, so let's not get too excited. There we go. You can see on the wider map, I think that's like flashing themselves into the site. But there we go, that's part of the common execute you see onto the site, where you have the Molotov onto the tree position to the right there, because the CTs can often boost the player onto the tree. They can avoid a lot of flashbangs coming into the site by just standing very close to the tree itself. There we go. Not expecting much from SK in this round. The T's have safe passage because you can see Rubino is back from whence they came, as Dan said earlier. But they're just going to go and wipe out everyone, or config is. I wonder where he is on the kill screen actually, because on the scoreboard. Because again, he was beasting for his team. I'm not sure if he made a 50 bomb in the previous map or not, but I'm sure he's going to be up there on this map as well. Dignitas to take the lead. Was it Halvoy said 16-12?
Yep.
Well,
Feeling pretty good about that right now.
we will see if you prove prothetic, and indeed, Config's going to be the man with the plan, leading the kill board for both teams with 21 frags.
Muddy's having a better game of it this time around, though. So I guess that's something that you can look positively at if you're SK.
One guy's actually playing Counter-Strike again. Here we go. We got Freeze. It's a bit of forward position. They're going to have to fall back. The pace from Dignitas is quite astounding at the moment. SK definitely going to be feeling quite a lot of pressure. Great flash. That timing was perfect from Pimp. However, still more players oncoming. Intensity's going to trade on them. Immediately, Dignitas taking this bomb site by the scruff of the neck at the moment as they force their way on there. And it's going to be a plant very shortly. And perhaps even around. What are you going to be coming up? Great spray down. Finds 2 players. Now just 1 left. Rubino. But he's got too much time to make the shot. And he's going to find himself that extra round for Dignitas. 13-11 now as things get better and better. And look at the money. That is a lot of money for Dignitas.
Oh,
And what money?
Well, we can see.
There
Oh,
we
we have charts. That's fantastic. Okay, Cadian's gone mad. Dignitas have a 2-round lead, and they have all the nades, all the bits and bobs on their side, whereas SK have had to sell the sofa in a living room to muster a buy here. They're going to be very lacking on nades. They've got 3 counter flashes, and that's it. Will this cause some aggression from the CT side, as they have limited tools to play with? We shall have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? We've got the bomb in a passive position, and SK, they're going to get challenged towards A, and Config again opening up the drop zone, and Tensky wins the battle, but it's towards the A side of the map, but there's still another player there, but he hasn't traded. SK right now giving up frags for free, and without any trade opportunities, they're now in this very sore spot where they pretty much have to gamble. They've got no money next round, so they need to go for a very committed play, either save everything or gamble it all into one bomb site. Looks like they're going for that. They've got the flank coming in. SCN's going to make 1 frag towards B plateau. That will slow down the push just ever so slightly, so maybe there's a chance now if Freeze can get into position on time, but he's not going to be able to do so without already being the last man alive. And that's going to be 14 rounds to 11. And it looks like things are getting worse and worse here for SK.
It's really not working out for SK right now. Absolutely not. Well, No surprise that they're going to opt to buy up. They don't want to play for the overtime. I guess the first time around it didn't leave any good memories for the SK side. But again, they're still so low on nades, and that's going to be an issue. If Dignitas continue to play it the same way they did in the previous rounds, just hanging about, see if they can find some picks or bait out some nades, that's going to be all they need, because when they finally decide to execute somewhere, SK are going to have no way of actually holding back the bomb site, and then a potential retake is going to be so much harder.
We've got one player for SK holding very, very, very closely to the underpass doors here. And they're starting to be, well, that's FACEIT, as you can see there. Again, they need this aggression because they don't really have anything else going for them. We've got this flank coming in from upper here, from Pimp. If he can take down KRB, then that would be a great bonus for the team. The bomb's been taken down as well. Rubino's the only man left who's picked it up, 1 versus 4. So SK not quite out of this yet, but should this not go their way, the next match will be flip side versus back. Rubino taking down Modi. He's got 20 HP and a hope and a prayer. There are 2 people on the B bomb site, so he's going to have to be careful not to get traded. The flank coming in as well, or at least just holding position for now.
Yeah, this is obviously very difficult, and we can't expect too much out of Rubino here. He's quite good in clutch situations, but this one's just a little bit too much to ask for. And the only fear I have for Dignitas is for them to let this go as they did on Train, because SK, winning that one pretty effectively, it's going to give them a little bit of breathing room. Of course, they didn't survive with too many players, but Dignitas, they're not really worrying about money. They're still stacked for cash. But there's on the CT side of this map, there's not too much you can do to get creative, apart from on the A side of the map.
Well, again, we have 2 players over towards the A site for the CTs, just trying to get some information. Again, things still not fantastic over there in the SK camp, and that's not going to help Freeze going down. Maybe you would have liked an AWP, but he is dead, so it doesn't matter anymore. 4 Dignitas players over towards A for the time being, and they're passive towards B, but it seems that ESEA is moving down T main actually. That's terrorist territory. Rubino holding the angle is going to shoot him straight in the face. Another question is, SK, do they gamble on a site here? Rubino not going to check underneath him. Modi's take him down. 4 versus 3 in favour of Dignitas, now moving towards the B-bomb.
And Modi's bought them so much time actually, and they're making that frag now. You can see he's keeping the pressure on as well, still not dying. This is good play from Modi, and their teammates will come in now, but he's being forced back into a horrible position, and Dignitas will take down everybody. 15-12 now the score, as it looks pretty fantastic for Dignitas indeed. There's nothing to play with for SK.
This could be the last round. We will have to wait and see if it is. Again, Dignitas now on match point rather than game points. SK have 2 rifles, and they've gone to the jumble sale. They even went as far as stealing a car, but the car was empty. They've got nothing to offer the Ts. You see 2 Ts holding passive towards A, and Pimp is holding aggressive towards A long, looking for some info as his team so desperately need as much info as possible. He's going to start to back off, and now we've got sprays coming in, but it's Modi getting the frags, and Magic Boy actually, so SK are making it work with the kind of, they've got a rubber band and some twigs. They're in MacGyver mode, Dan, and they've got a 2-man advantage.
Let's see if MacGyver mode can get it done in this situation. It's all Dignitas players together at the moment, moving towards the A-bomb site, looking for a bit of a split. Freeze could do a lot of damage here, though. They've got to get the immediate kill. If he even gets 1 frag here, you might want to close out the chances. And indeed, there's the first kill coming in, the immediate trade. But is the damage done as we have SK now? They know what's up. They've seen the bomb. They're making the rotation. And that bomb needs to make its way onto the site still. So this is looking very hard for Dignitas. But Kirby able to take down Modi as the push continues onto the site. But there is a player who's just hiding at the back there. So I really don't like Dignitas' chances.
Yeah, position Forest made popular on an inferior version of the map, but this time Pimp's going to get shot in the head. Tensky versus 2 now. He can do this. Don't count Dignitas out just yet. But how much time has he got to do it on the clock? Just over 20 seconds to get the bomb down, and the bomb will go down. Last time we saw him trying to reposition, got shot in the face. This time he's going to take a different approach. Both CTs coming from the same direction, and there will be no trade necessary. SK take another round and close the gap.
Well, obviously we didn't see it on camera, but surprising from SK actually how they managed to pick up 2 frags and get no returns, or not get returned on by Dignitas and drop them there. Modi and Magic doing an excellent job setting up that advantage for them. Freeze as well, picking up a massive frag onto Rubino as they push through mid, because I think even if it's a 4v3 advantage in terms of players left for SK, I think they're still going to lose that trade if 3 players from Dignitas get up on that A-bomb site.
Well, Dignitas still have money in the bank to go for a buy, even if they lose this round. And maybe even the next. There is a number of Dignitas players, in fact 4, heading up towards the B-bomb site. We might see a bit of shock and awe here, but whose favour will it be in? The re-smoke is coming in, and ESEA is playing so close to that smoke that they could just run past him and get absolutely wrecked. Let's see. He's avoiding the flashbangs. He takes down one, looking for the spray. Second one goes down. Running out of bullets now. Going for the CZ, not going to get it out fast enough. 3 versus 4. Still 2 CTs on the site itself. But we've got Tensky and Shelby coming in from the door area. So they're going to sandwich these SK players. The nade comes in, takes down Magic Boy down to 2 versus 2 now. We've got a flank coming in from the CTs. The bomb gets taken down on the platform. And there goes the last play for Dignitas. SK closed the gap to 1.
That play from ESEA and those 2 plays, the disruption caused there, the delay caused there, was so incredibly huge that the SK just had so much time to get the rotation in. We could see they played some great positions on the defense because of the time that was bought and the confusion that was created by ESEA. So got to hand it to him in that round, but Dignitas, they still have a full buy-in, and SK looking a little bit stretched for cash here. Mag 7 in play, so it's going to be interesting to see what Dignitas choose to go with in this round.
He's getting tagged through the underpass doors. Ooh, that smoke is not on the ground. He might see some feet coming in if people choose to go, although one would imagine they would come in following a flashbang. So maybe he'll see nothing at all if that scenario does come true. Oh, he has a teammate, which is Pimp, coming in for support. Bit of a crossfire, should it be necessary. Pimp's responsibility is above him as well, and the Dignitas team are encroaching on that responsibility. We'll see how it goes. Freeze misses the flashbang, but gets taken down by MSL. Pimp goes as well. So SK are in a really bad position now.
Yeah, it's all it's Dignitas' round to win at this point, or to lose, sorry, as they have a very strong advantage going into the side. Great kills coming out from Magic Boy, giving SK a chance, something to work with, however small it may be. Despite being stuck behind the choke points, they've got the flank from ESEA. Here he goes. Tensky's looking for it, but he's going to get dropped by that aggression, and now it's the crossfire here between these 2 players, and it looks pretty good at the moment. Kirby not team killing Config, which is very possible there, and Config gets spotted now. Down to Kirby, the young and up-and-comer, looking for that 1 versus 1. He knows Moddy's lurking here somewhere. But where is he? Gets spotted there, up on the APC. As the bomb ticks further and further, and he's going to get it. Dignitas,